Good morning. Saturday. Christmas is right around the corner, only 11 days away. But, everybody celebrates different. Down here even the family events are alcohol infused, and I stay away from that as much as possible. Not because I don't drink anymore. I mean, if I was around strangers, it wouldn't bother me. But I hate to see my family make asses out of themselves, really. It just doesn't do me any good. So I'm home, and they're off partying wherever they are, and I wish them the best. Anyhow, tomorrow is football Sunday. So I made some picks, and so here goes. The Cowboys are at. Well, let me do this a different way this week, okay? I have picks, but I want to be able to see if I can get the weather too. I doubt it, though. They don't do it on this. They don't do it. All right, it's week 15 of 18. There's only 3 weeks left of the season, folks. So we'll start with we already know what happened in the Ram 49er game Thursday night. I would have picked that wrong, but that's just me. We start off with the Cowboys and the Panthers, unless it's quite possible the team has quit altogether, but I'm going to give the Cowboys the edge in this just in case, because I think even if they quit, they can beat the Panthers. The Chiefs and the Browns, as much as I love the Browns, and I think they're, an up-and-coming team, I'm going to pick the Chiefs to go to 13-1. The Dolphins and the Texans. At the Texans, I'm going to take Texas. That's the Houston Oilers, folks, in case you Texas. No, it's not the Houston Oilers. What are they? Are they still the Houston Oilers? No, they're called the Texans now. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, all right. Shows you, how up-to-date I am. We got the Jets and the Jags. I believe the Jets have quit. I believe that they need a whole lot of stuff. And Aaron Rodgers should have retired 2 years ago, but that's, the way it goes. So I'll take the Jags in that just for kicks. Commanders, Saints. Well, Commanders got a great quarterback. I'm not so sure of their defense, so I'm going to go with the more defensive team I think is more of a defensive team, and that's the Saints. And we come up to my home team, the Giants versus the Ravens. Well, this is like a bye week for the Ravens, playing the New York Giants. That's another thing. That's another team I'm not so sure about. They may have quit. They may not have. Their coaching leaves a lot to be desired there. And then you got the Bengals and the Titans. And the Bengals still have a very small outside chance, so I'll take the Bengals. Patriots versus at the Cardinals, not going to happen. Patriots, sorry about that. Cardinals win. Colts and the Broncos. Now here's an interesting story. They're similar teams. They both are horse teams, sort of, but they're playing at Mile High, and I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like. Mile High can have snow this time of year. Colts are basically an indoor team, so I'm going to go with the Broncos in that, even though I'm not so sure their coach is that good anymore. I think he's been around too long. Bills and the Lions. Now this is the game of the week. This game is very, very important to the Bills and both to the Bills and the Lions. The Lions because there's a possibility they could face them in the Super Bowl if they get there. The Bills. This is it, they're trying to get a good top seed, and they lose this game, they're not going to get a good seed in the playoffs. So, we'll see what happens there. But I'm going with the Lions. Well, the Lions made me a lot of money back in my betting days, so you gotta kind of go with your heart or your pocketbook, whatever you want to call it. Bucks, Chargers. Listen, I'm a Buck fan. You know, I liked him after. Wow, I'm having a big mind fart. But after what's his name left them and everything, and I think they're they got a great quarterback. He's spectacular to watch. He's got guts, And Chargers have a good coach, and they have a very good quarterback too. I just don't think that I just think the Bucks are up for it. They're going to win the game. Steelers Eagles. Now this is one where people are saying, this is the Battle of Pennsylvania, and I'm going to take the Steelers in this game just simply because I don't like the Eagles. Packers Seahawks. Packers have been playing great football, very good football. Seahawks, but I'm going to take the Seahawks in an upset, And we got 2 games Monday night. That's interesting, which means it's going to be very difficult to watch them. But the Bears and the Vikings should end up at 12-2. And then you got the Falcons and the Raiders. Well, this time of year the Raiders get dangerous simply because they got nothing to lose. They're playing for next year's contracts, but I think the Falcons have the edge at quarterback, so I'm going to give it to the Falcons. That's the football picks for the weekend, folks. I don't know what else to talk about. You got Donnie running around screaming and yelling. You got Elon yelling at people because the SEC wants to look at him, and that the SEC is getting a Trump chairman after this. So Elon's going to walk away from whatever's going on. So I don't even know why they're bothering anymore. It's if Trump was smart, he wouldn't. He'd tell his SEC chairman not to let him walk away from this, because I don't know whether it's even true, but I mean just to fuck with him, because Trump doesn't understand that Elon looks at himself as king in waiting, the crown prince more or less. He has all sorts of plans to destroy the government, and piss everybody off so that the Republicans can't get elected again. But the problem is he's head of that commission, so he's never going to get in public office, With all the stuff that he's doing, he's making the Republican Party members unelectable in the midterm elections. I don't know what happens after that, because it appears, and it's funny, in a lot of conversations you listen to. I've said this to my son-in-law yesterday, that this is a strange situation, because if they do what they want to do, they become unelectable. But now the way they're acting is they don't think as Trump is going to be there more than 2 years, and I don't understand that. They keep telling you you see all these articles, especially on YouTube, Trump's lost it again. Trump's collapsing, and that makes great headlines, and the stories don't come anywhere near close to that. You get one line, one word he says differently. But he is old. He is my age, and I'm getting worse, and my mind is starting to need assistance. So I think that's a good assumption that he's not there after 2 years. He'll be what? Now, let's see, I'm 78. I'll be, in 2 years, I'll be 8. Well, in 12 months, I'll be 80. 13 months, something like that, I'll be 80. 16th of January, I turn 79, and a year later is my 80th birthday, if I'm still around. My wife is already planning a big celebration and whatnot, and I said, that's great, just make sure I can remember what's going on, if I'm still here. And honest to God, the way things are going right now, I'm not so sure I'm going to be here then, but You know, that's just the way things go. I don't know if this is true. You know, if you read it, you know, it's just there's a lot of inferences to the who's going to take over. You know, and everybody's assuming it's going to be Vance is going to be president, and Vance will do. You know, whoever has their hand further up his ass will do whatever he's supposed to do. You know, that the Republican megas want him to do, but the government that the next president inherits, whether it's done by election or the 25th Amendment or whatever, is going to be screwed up, because you have all these people in there that are just not qualified. Now, you want to take apart one of the best police forces in the world, all right? What they do, they're not cops on the street, they're not cops on the beat. These are deep investigators that have a lot of cases going, and if he does what he says he's going to do, he's going to put a lot of people free. Some of them are really, really bad, and I would suggest that the Al Qaeda's and ISIS's of the world are sitting there and waiting to see what's going to happen, because the chaos that you create within a country leaves the country open for subtle takeover, creation of a lot of homemade dissidents and homemade terrorists, and that they've said this many, many times on many radio stations and conversations that I've seen over the years that suggest that the hardest person in the world to deal with, or the worst kind of terrorist in the world to deal with, is what they call homegrown terrorism. They're the most difficult to deal with, and that's what they're doing. You know, they're creating homegrown terrorists, and I think that's a huge mistake to allow that to happen, to take the, you know, because they're going to be concentrating their efforts on secret police work, you know, like the FSB in Russia, going after dissidents rather than going after dissidents in the sense they disagree with Trump. You know, he wants it to be his police force. And I'll tell you this, you know, they should have realized something. And this is a mark against the FBI and everybody else. But this kid that got out, the kid that took the shot at Trump, and I still believe that was a setup of sorts. You know, and the kid was just a sacrificial lamb. But you take him, and then you take this guy that killed the CEO of United Healthcare. They say they knew, you know, everybody says a lot of things after the fact, but the fact is that he walked up and shot the guy and got away. He was gone. Then he got stupid. He did everything right until after the shot, and then he just got stupid, you know. He turned into instead of a killer, he turned into a human being, and he got caught. And now he doesn't know what to do, and he's yelling and screaming. But the point I'm trying to make is that these people, these leaders in the free world especially, and then they'll probably make it a lot more difficult, but Trump won't let them. They're targets. And you know, this kid was an amateur. Imagine if he was a professional, a deep thinker. You know, the guy would have gotten completely away with it. And maybe 5 years down the road, we would have known who did it. Even with all the technological stuff you got out there, these guys can. It's possible if they can get away for 24 hours, they're gone. Some of these people, you know. And if they're doing it for money, is the way they'll catch them, because somebody will rat them out because they don't want to pay them. You know, and then it gets the investigation will get really crazy, and you'll have another Kennedy assassination situation where all the conspiracy theorists come out. I mean, you don't think so? Look at RFK Jr. This kid never said a word until recently when he wants his sister to take over the CIA so that she can head an investigation into the assassination. Now, I'm not sure if I'm correct in my thinking. The CIA might have been the ones that did it. Like I have an opinion about that, but I can't even prove it. I had an opinion that I added to the conspiracies that were already out there, and I just let it go. I'm not gonna. To be honest with you, I don't care anymore. I mean, it's done, and it's been done for what, since 1963. Was that 30 years, 40 years? No, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be almost 61 years. 61 years. I think that's the number. So after this, what difference does it make? There's nobody alive that pulled that assassination off. That's if anybody was involved in it, they're probably not still alive. There are people that know about it, maybe, but who cares at this stage of the game? Although it couldn't do any more damage to the government now than having Trump as president. So maybe maybe he's right. Maybe now we should know the truth. Oh, it might actually do Trump good. Anyhow, that's all I got to say really for Saturday morning. Now I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow because I just talked about football. I'll talk about the college playoff results. It starts today. I won't get, like I said, I don't know anything about college football anymore, and I don't have access to any of the games this year. In the past, I have. I will have access to the championship game. They do put that on television with Mexican announcers who just drive me insane. They just love. They talk more. It's like listening to Mel Allen on a baseball game. He used to never shut up. Phil Rizzuto the same way. Those guys never shut up. Well, I remember when I scratched my left testicle and they hit a home run. Stuff like that. All right, listen. I've overextended my welcome again. I'm gone. I will talk to you mañana.